Hello, tis Sarah here. I'm really sorry about not updating in a long time, but I have been very busy with school and helping out with my parents. And so I was just doing an update, finally. And so before we get started on the update, and I apologize for all the car noises, because as you can see, we are right by a window, and this is the most lit spot in the house right now, unfortunately. So, let's get started. I thought that the best way to do an update, I guess, well, not the best way, but was to do a question video where I answer a bunch of questions. So, the first one is, what was your favorite food when you were a child? Well, when I was a kid, child, whatever you want to call it, I didn't really eat much. I was really, really small, tiny, skinny, piggy. So I'm guessing my favorite food was probably mac and cheese, like it is now. What's the number one most played song on your iPod? I don't really listen to music on my iPod. I listen to it from the TV. And even then, that's not even that often. So, I don't really know. And I do like pop though, so I guess that's somewhat of an answer. What is one of your favorite quotes? What is one of my favorite quotes? I should know this. It's my favorite quote. Live like you were dying, I guess? I don't know. Love is like a rose with thorns, it hurts, I guess. Oh, don't judge a book by its cover. There. What's your favorite indoor or outdoor activity? Indoor activity would be on a computer, or watching TV, or hanging out with family. Outdoor activity, swimming and skating, because I don't like being outdoors very much. If I had people with me, like, to hang out, I'd be in the snow. What chore do you absolutely hate doing? Oh my gosh. Basically anything that I have to get dirty doing, such as tending the garden, cleaning the toilet, doing dishes, putting the dishes in the dishwasher, taking them out of the dishwasher because it's always wet. Like, they're not dry all the way, so I have to wipe it off, and I'm weird. What is your favorite form of exercise? Me? Exercise? Right. I don't exercise. The only thing I do for exercise... Stupid motorcycle. The only thing I do for exercise is probably walk. And that's to and from class, or 2 classes, or when I'm at the dorm, which I'm not there now. I'm at home, so yeah. What is your favorite time of day day of the week or month of the year. My favorite month is December because I don't like the summer because of the bees, because I'm terrified of bees. I like winter because of the landscapes. Like, the snow makes everything pretty. Day of the week is probably Saturday, just because it's a laid back day. My family usually goes grocery shopping early in the morning on Saturdays. So, I don't know, I like it. Time of day? Lunchtime? I don't know. I don't really eat much though, so that doesn't make any sense. What's your least favorite mode of transportation? I don't really go on much transportation, like city buses. I've never been on one. I've never been on a train before. I've been on an airplane. That's my favorite mode of transportation. I'm not too keen on driving. I guess what I would have to say is when I'm in the passenger seat of a really bad driver, I just get panicky and I have an imaginary brake. So, yeah. What is your favorite body part? I would have to say the eyes, because I like eyes and a smile. What sound do I love? Cat meowing, I guess. I like the sound of little kittens meowing. I think that's it. Harps. I like the sound of a harp. Or guitar, acoustic guitar. If you could throw any kind of party, what kind would it be like and what would it be for? I don't like parties. I don't like throwing them. I don't like going to them. So, I'm not a partier. Sorry. If you could paint a picture of any scenery you've seen before, what would you paint? Sunsets, sunrises, beach, and winter. Does that answer your question? I like nature. If you could choose to stay in a damn trucks. If you could choose to stay at a certain age forever, what would it be? I would say 18 or 20, because 18 I felt like I had no care in the world. Like I was young and I don't know. And 20 because that's the age I am at the moment. And I like it. I don't know. It's the most grown up I've been. So, I guess. Where am I? If you knew the world was ending, what would you do differently? I would probably tell my family and friends that I love them and take care of them, and I would care for them more than I would myself. If you could choose anyone, who would you pick as your mentor? I don't even know what the word mentor means, so I'm guessing my mother, seeing as she's my best friend, and, well, she's taught me basically almost everything I know. So, I guess. If you could witness any event in the past, present, or future, what would it be? I would want to. There's very many things I would want to do. I would want to see the birth of me, which is just creepy, from a different angle. I wasn't born through natural birth. I was born through C-section, so I don't know. I would want to see the future of who I marry, if I marry, how many kids I have, if I have any, what job I'll have if I have a job. I want to see my future. Doesn't everyone? If you could learn to do anything, what would it be? Probably math, because I'm really, really bad at math. If you had to work on only one project for a year, what would it be? Art, photography, and YouTube, since I'm really bad at keeping updated. If you were immortal for a day, what would you do? I don't even know what immortal means. Like invisible? What would I do? I don't know. There's not much I could do. Or that I wanted to do. I don't know, skip that question. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? Or if you could change your first name, what would you change it to? I wouldn't change my first name, seeing as I like the name Sarah, but I would hyphenate it to be Sarah Jane, seeing as Jane is my favorite name. I don't know, I've always liked that name, so why not? If you could meet anyone, living or dead, who would you meet? Michael Jackson. I was PO'd beyond belief when I found out he passed away. And so I'm still ticked off about it, but not much you can do about that. Or I can do about that. So, whatever. I'd like to meet Avril Lavigne as well. So, I guess. If you won the lottery, what is the first thing you would do? I would give most of it to my parents, seeing as they have more bills than me to pay off. And, well, I don't really need the money unless it's for school, so, yeah. I'd give it to my parents, and to charity, and to whoever needs it, like my brothers, or my family, friends. Yeah. Depending on how much I got. If you were reincarnated as an animal drink, ice cream flavor, what would it be? I don't know. I don't usually think of that kind of stuff. I guess as an animal I would be a dog, because I'm a loving, caring person, so I guess that's the same kind of attributes, I guess, as a dog. But for the rest, I have no idea. If you could know the answer to any question besides what is the meaning of life, what would it be? Well, I would want to know what was the meaning of life, but I can't ask that question, so why was I put on this earth with ACC, or absent corpus callosum? I guess I kind of already know that answer, to teach people that there's certain things in life you have to appreciate, I guess. I don't know. If you could be any fictional character, who would you choose? Is fictional fake? Non-fiction fiction? I don't know the difference because I don't read books. Real life, I don't know. But for movies or TV shows, I would be either in Naruto or in Twilight. I don't know. What celebrity do you get mistaken for? I have no idea. Do I look like anyone to you? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a stay-at-home mother because I have grown up with the guy goes to work and the mother or the wife goes and cooks and takes care of the kids and cleans the house. I grew up with that kind of life, so sorry if you think it's wrong, but that's how I have lived. So, yeah. When you have 30 minutes of free time, how do you pass the time? I go on the computer. What would you name the autobiography of your life? The Day in Life of Sarah Jolly. I don't know. What songs are included on the soundtrack of your life? Anything to do with heartbreak, anything to do with bullying, anything to do with being yourself. Yeah. Have you ever had something happen to you that you thought was bad, but it turned out to be for the best? Yes. I was in a car accident a year or two ago, and you'd think it would be a bad thing, but once it's done, you know that it's okay. You don't have to freak out. Just get back in the car and drive. Well, not in the same car if it's a total wreck, which happened to me, but yeah. If nothing serious happened, then you have no reason to be afraid. Yeah, you can be a little bit nervous about it, but don't waste your life sitting on a chair at in your house just because of one little accident. What was one of the best parties you've been to? Like I said before, I don't go to parties, so I don't know. I usually just go to weddings. That's the only party. Or birthdays. Or Christmas. Get-togethers. Not actual parties like you drink and dance or whatever. I don't do that. What was the last movie, TV show, or book that made you cry or tear up? I don't read books, and any movie that I watch, I like tearjerkers, so that... Seriously? Damn farm equipment. What is the hardest thing you've ever done? I don't know. Probably love someone. That sounds retarded, but like boyfriend girlfriend type of love, because you're not used to that kind of stuff, and it's the first thing, like the first one. So yeah. BRB, my computer just died, and that's where I was getting the questions from. This shit's real life, people. I don't cut the scenes like most people do. Seeing as one of the reasons, I don't know how. I don't have the proper programs and all that to do that. So, I'm hoping to, while this boots up again, I'm going to say stuff. I'm hoping to do more updates on YouTube. Hopefully soon. If not, then I'm sorry. Because I'm going back to school in September, so I have no idea. And I'll be living in a house with 4 or 5 people maybe, so I have no idea. Oh, there's my computer. Where were we? What was the last experience that made you a stronger person? Probably breaking up with my boyfriend, seeing as I'm not used to that kind of stuff. So, I guess that. Because it is a hard thing to do. We broke up because we were getting too far apart, and I was going to school, and he was afraid that I would cheat on him, so why not just break up? Yeah, it's stupid reasons. What did you do growing up that made you get in trouble? Oh my gosh. Probably not listening to my parents. When was the last time you had an amazing meal? That's hard to say, seeing as I have no sense of smell, so my taste is kind of wrecked as well, so I don't really know what tastes good. I just eat. That's probably why I don't eat much, because I don't like the taste of things. I don't know. What's the best or worst gift you've ever given or received? That's a little personal. I don't like telling people that. Skip, because I have no idea. What do you miss most about being a kid? Carefree life. Because, yeah. What is your first memory of being really excited? Probably when I found out my brother was coming home or got home from BC, because I rarely saw him when I was little, because he moved out, or rather escaped, as my family calls it, when he was 18, so yeah, probably that. What was the first thing you bought with your own money? Probably candy. When was the last time you were nervous? That's almost every day. Or at least more than once a week, more than 4 times a week that I get nervous. But the most nervous that I can remember was when I had the car accident. I was freaking out that my mom and my dad would be PO'd at me for destroying their car, and it wasn't even my fault, so I was just lost in my brain at that point, so yeah. I keep on getting lost. What is something you've learned in the past couple of weeks? Or in the last week? How to make a homemade hamburger. Because I want to learn, and because I was stupid when I was little. I never wanted to help my mom or dad with anything. I just wanted to be a lazy son of a you-know-what, so now's the time to learn because I'm moving out and starting my own life, so I don't want to be going out every single day to a restaurant to get food because that's expensive, so I have to learn how to make my own stuff, so why not learn how to make a hamburger? I don't know. What story does your family always tell you about? Oh my god. There are so many stories that my family repeats. And repeats, and repeats, and repeats. But the most repeated one would probably have to be, my mom would get so fed up with me when I was little because I never stayed asleep. Like, I never slept through the night until I was 5 years old. And that's because I was put on cough syrup and alcohol. To help me sleep, obviously. So I don't know why I never slept when I was little. Like, I did sleep, I had little naps, but in the daytime. I guess I was afraid of the dark. I don't know, but it would always piss my mom off, and my dad would never help out, and my 2 brothers were always freaking out. My older brother, Sam, the one who left to BC, I was probably the reason for that. He would always write on the wall, "The baby's crying." 2 minutes later, "The baby is still crying." An hour later, "Shut the F up. I have a test in the morning," type thing. Yeah. That's probably the one that is most repeated between my whole entire family. At what age did you become an adult? I'm 20 years old and I don't feel like an adult yet. Like, I still act like a kid. Like, I laugh at little kid movies. I love little kid movies like Despicable Me or Up or Mr. Bean's Holiday. I love little kid movies, so I feel like a little kid in that way, so I don't really feel grown up. Besides moving out into the dorm last year for college, that's the only way I can think of being grown up. my oldest brother, he's 35, 36. He still acts like a kid half the time. So I don't think you ever grow up. My mom acts like a kid still. My dad acts like a kid still, and they're really old. I get. Don't want to say, but yeah. Is it? Whoa, my computer just jumped. Is a picture 1,000 words? Depending on what it is, like if it's a really, really good picture of a landscape, because like I said, I like landscapes, then yeah. Or if it was a picture of a newborn, or a picture of a memory, yeah. But sometimes the pictures are really badly taken, so sometimes it's better to be there in real life, such as a landscape. You can see it, you can picture it better when you're right there, whereas in a picture you don't see it very well. You get the full 360 or whatever when you're there. And to me, a picture helps me remember things like memories. So, yeah. They're memories that you can lose, and you don't want to lose them, so they are worth 1,000 words. To me, anyway. My phone just scared the crap out of me. And the last question, what is the best part of waking up? The feeling of the comfy bed, the warmth, the good dream that you just had, the restful sleep. I don't know. I was an insomniac for most of my life, so whenever I get sleep, it's just like, oh, that felt good. Like, the worst part of waking up, the part when you realize you have to pee, that is the worst. 'Cause you're all relaxed and then you're like, gotta go. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all the questions that I have. And so, if you have a question for me that you want answered, don't be afraid to ask. You can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on DeviantArt. I have Twitter and Tumblr, but I don't really go on them, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can contact me if you want to ask a question. Even comment on the video. I don't see why not. I like being asked questions. I like answering questions. I like asking questions. Feel free to. And hopefully I can update more sooner. I guess that's all. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Bye. Turn off.